can you just talk about what the writer's room looks like currently? Is it, are they smaller? Are they still happening? Like, what's that like for both of you?
Do you want to go, Ida?
Sure. Although I feel like you have more experience, but so I've been. It depends. Like, so when I was a script coordinator, I was in 2 drama rooms, and then I got staffed in a comedy room. They're very different, obviously. But so the comedy room that I was in, we had 8 writers. It was a multicam, so it feels different from a single cam. Obviously, it moves much, much faster. Like, you get a first draft on Monday, we're shooting it on Friday. So it's a lot of late nights. But yeah, I don't know if it's. I'm sorry, what was the question?
What is a writing room like currently?
Oh yeah,
What's
so it's just,
what's the atmosphere? How many people, like that kind of, just people are,
right.
we like details of things because we're
Right.
all, it's like the mysterious writer's room. I
Oh,
think for a
okay,
lot of
right.
people, so
Yeah, so there was like 8 of us in the room. I was a staff writer in the room. And you hear this a lot, but it's true. There's like an unspoken hierarchy in the room. So most of the people pitching were the upper level writers. The trend that's been happening, and it was the same case in my room. It was very top heavy, so everyone was a co-EP, and then I was the staff writer. So like, so there wasn't a lot of mid-tier writers in the room. And so it was just like finding the right moments to pitch, because you don't really want to interrupt the co-EPs who are going on like a 2-hour bit that won't end, so it's just like finding ways to cut through the noise. That's a thing that happens a lot in comedy rooms. It's just like the bits, they're never ending, especially on this multicam. And so like, this was my first time as a staff writer, so I was like, oh, some of that's going to go in the script. No, none of it gets in the script. So you just wasted 4 hours. It's 8 p.m. and they're handing out dinner menus, and like, we haven't even touched the script yet. So it's just a lot of like managing time, being patient, getting your pitches in, even though like it's intimidating being a staff writer, being one of the only lower level writers amongst a lot of upper level writers. It's intimidating to pitch. It was really intimidating for me. Like the first week I barely spoke, but it's important to pitch. It's important, like, it's important to find moments to like pitch your joke. It will fall flat sometimes. It's okay. No one's really thinking about you. I feel like I would get really self-conscious that, oh, everyone thinks I suck, but like that's not the case. Everyone pitches, everyone's jokes fall flat. And then like you'll throw in a pitch that sort of saves the day, which always feels really good. So yeah, again, I worked on a multicam, so it's very different from single cam. I'm sure Rupinder can speak to that, but it was really, really fast paced. And then like thinking of alts on the fly was a big deal. Like, because like, again, and this is important when you're writing for comedy, it's like sometimes you'll write a joke down thinking it is funny, and then you'll hear it out loud and it's still sort of funny, like, but then like you hear the actor deliver it and it just sort of falls flat, or it was funny the first 3 times and then the 4th and 5th time it didn't really work. You have to be able to adapt and change and come up with a lot of alts in front of a live audience. It's happening really fast, so it can be intimidating, but like you get really thick skin and it's also a lot of fun. And it just makes you a better writer. You get really quick with writing. So sorry, that was a very convoluted way of
no, that was
answering.
such great information and advice. Thank you. Rupinder.
I did one multicam, Ida, and I agree it was absolutely punishing as a writer. It was insane hours, and I said I can actually never do it again.
Yeah, same.
But I do mostly single cams. I've done a lot of cable shows. I'm on a network show now, so it's a very different universe. Because Ghost is also a 22 episode show, which is almost unheard of now. So there's probably like 3 of those currently on the air. So it is a very large room because there are 22 episodes to make, and we've already started shooting and we end shooting in February. So the shoot schedule is so long, and we're writing and shooting at the same time. So, it's a lot of, you're breaking the stories and you kind of know half the season, but you don't know the other half of the season yet, and just kind of doing it all on the fly. But I would say, again, room sizes seem to really vary, I think, based upon the episode order. That seems to be the main thing. If you're doing 10 episodes, you don't need the amount of writers. It's a 22 episode show. And you're not going to have the same amount of weeks. But I do feel like, as Ida was saying, like a lot of your day is sort of just, you sit around a boardroom with people all day, and this is what other people can't understand, is you're basically in a meeting all day. You don't go to your office and spend time by yourself. You're just on the whole time, which can be a little bit mentally taxing. And sometimes, if you just don't feel funny or you don't have a lot to offer, unfortunately, that's your job. So you got to be bringing it all day, every day, and that is just what your job is. And it is great because there are a whole bunch of other people there, so they can kind of, you can riff off of each other and work off of each other, and that's a great thing. But it is a very collaborative environment. I feel like in the many years I've been doing this now, I've had the opportunity to learn from so many other people how to be in a room, what works in a room, how to be diplomatic in a room, and also respectful of other people, and yet, have your voice heard. And I feel like I do also feel like another thing that I find very encouraging is, in the beginning of my career, I was often the only woman in the room. And now I've been in rooms that are majority women, or at least it's 50-50. Like, it is completely different landscape there, which is really nice to see.